Antonio. It's time to rise. The Raunchy Morning Show is here to energize. Good morning, y'all. Grab your coffee and smile. Ron G's got the tunes to make life worthwhile. From the latest hits to stories that inspire, WSAN radio sets your soul on fire. Start your day with the beat, feel the groove. Ron G's got the vibe to make you move. With laughter and love, we're here to stay. WSAN radio, your morning getaway. Wake up, let the rhythm flow. With the Ron G Morning Show. From the heart of Texas, we're ready to shine. WSAN Radio, it's your time. News, interviews, and the songs you love. Ron G's voice lifts you high above. From San Antonio streets to the world beyond. Zion Radio, the sound you'll always find. Feel the energy, let it carry you through. Ron G's got the magic to make dreams true. Turn the dial, join the family. Zian's your morning destiny. Wake up, let the rhythm flow. With the Ron G Morning Show. From the heart of Texas, we're ready to shine. WSAN Radio, it's your time. With Ron G, Welch, show. San Antonio, let the music play. The Ron G Morning Show makes your day.
All right, everybody, we are here live on WSAN Radio. We got Mr. Jack Welch with us. I didn't tell y'all anything what was going on. I left it hanging so they to explain to you what's going on. And I did that on purpose because sometimes I say something that I'm not too sure of. And I want to be sure this time around that everything is right. So good afternoon, sir. And how you doing today?
I'm doing very good, Ron. I appreciate you having me on.
Okay. So what is the buzz going around that I didn't want to share with everybody? What's going around here for San Antonio?
Well, you know, this is the first year that we're going to have the International Football Alliance. It's a professional football league that has gone in. It's been in the works for the last 2 years of getting everything put in place. And I think that's probably the smartest thing that the Alliance has done. You know, we're for all the different leagues, but you remember when the XFL and USFL came out, they jumped into it, I think maybe a little hurried, which they had to kind of readjust and then combine into the UFL. And the UFL, of course, plays in the winter/spring operation of their program. We start in May. When they finish, we start in May. So our season will start with practices in May. We'll start our ball games the last week in May, and we'll finish the first week of August. So we're a summer league, and the way I explain it to people is that we're like a minor league football team to the NFL. The UFL, ourselves, we're here to give young people an opportunity to get back in the NFL or to make it to the NFL. We've got a lot of guys on our roster that have been in the NFL. They've been right there on the verge. Some of them have gotten hurt and got released. They're trying to get back in. So about everybody we have are players that have either been overlooked, trying to get in the NFL, or they've been right there and trying to get back.
Oh, wow. That sounds great. So
we're called the San Antonio. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
And we're the San Antonio Caballeros. And it's not the Leros, it's the Hierros. So Caballeros. I got to get all that right. I've got to get my Spanish speaking down and become a little better.
Okay, so once this is said and done, when are tryouts and who can try out?
Well, basically anybody can try out. They've got to go on the website, the International Football Alliance website, and fill out the forms. Basically, we've had several already. We've got a big one coming up, February the 15th over at Somerset High School. We've got our Caballeros tryout, and that will pretty much kind of lock down what we're going to do with our roster. Our roster pretty well is full at this time. We've got room for just a few more. We've got the draft. There's going to be a second draft. This is the second draft they've had. It's going to be in Tampa, Florida, and that's going to come here in March. So right now is an opportunity for these young people to, give that tryout, try to get in there. So everybody around San Antonio, if they're wanting to try out, they're wanting to be in a professional football organization, they need to go online and sign up for our February 15th date over at Somerset High School.
So, once you start the season, where will you be playing at?
Our games are going to be played at the University of Incarnate Word. We're going to play there. The games are on Saturdays, and so we will have 8 ball games. There's 6 people in the league, and we'll play a couple of them twice. But there'll be 8 games. We'll have 4 in June. Like I said, we'll have a bye week, so we start the last week of May. We've got a bye week. Our bye week will be June the 28th, and then we'll play the rest of our games, the other 4 in July. And then, of course, whoever makes the playoffs will play that first week of August as the championship. And, of course, we plan on being there and doing that. There's going to be some great teams, though. The teams in the league are really diverse. They're very good. They're excellent. They're coached excellently by some great coaches, guys who have been in the NFL and college football that are big-name guys. Of course, we're the San Antonio Caballeros. Then you've got the Texas Pioneeros. They're coached by Art Briles, used to be at Baylor University, head coach. He's been very successful over in Italy. But they'll have a team, and that team's going to be in Round Rock. And then we've got a team in Huntsville, Alabama. And we've got a team in Tampa, Florida. Another one is called the Ohio Valley Ironman, and they're out of Wheeling, West Virginia. And then we've got a team in Chihuahua, Mexico. That's why we're an international football league. So excellent teams, excellent coaches, some great players. We just signed just a few weeks ago. We signed a great player that out of Alabama that a lot of people know of, Jalen Moody. And Jalen, of course, Jaden went to the Bengals, hurt his shoulder. So he has rehabbed that, trying to get back into the league. But we've got a roster full of big name players and some great guys that are going to, I think, bring some excitement to San Antonio. And of course, we've got a lot of things. Our head coach, I'm excited. Our head coach is Hal Mummy. Hal Mummy is known all over the country as the air raid guru. He's the passing guy. You know, Mike Leach worked for him. That's where they started this. They at Iowa Wesleyan. I say they started it. I disagree with that because I helped start it with him when I started coaching. We both coached together at West Texas State back in the old days. And Art was a passing guru at that time. And so he started putting all this together. Well known all over the country. Had a great run as the University of Kentucky head coach. He did a great job at New Mexico State. He started the program at Southeastern Louisiana. He's known all over the country as a great passing coach. And, of course, he does camps and videos, clinics all over the country with this air raid. So everybody knows Hal Mummy. And it's an honor for me to get to work with him and be a part of him. And, again, we've put together a great coaching staff. So we're excited about being in San Antonio with that. And we're going to work with the city of San Antonio. The great thing about our program and Hal's vision is to be able to work with the people and the community. So we're going to do lots of things. Number one, I have a Christian ministry called Kingdom Athletes, God's Game Plan for Glory, very much like the FCA, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, Athletes in Action, that we're going to be working around the community with. I'm good friends with Coach Trader over at UTSA and Coach Killo at UIW, Coach Kenny at Texas State. My former boss, before I've been coaching at East Texas A&M University, and the guy who hired me there is David Bailiff. He's gone back to Texas State. So we're going to get this Christian ministry going through town and working with the different schools. Also, we have some football camps that we're doing around the area, the Jack Welch football camps. I've been doing those for years. And they're prospect football camps to help kids get in college, help the high school kids. And I've got a couple big ones coming. We're going to be at Cornerstone Schools there with Daryl Hemphill, who's the athletic director, head football coach. The athletic director at Cornerstone. And then we'll also be doing a mega camp, and that will be at Cornerstone later. That's going to be on June 28th. So we've got a couple big camps coming up, a prospect camp and a mega camp. sometimes people say, what's that mega camp? What's the difference between the two? Prospect camp is a little smaller camp, 100, 150 kids probably in it. And you've got several colleges around your area that'll be there watching those kids. The mega camp, there's colleges all over the country that'll be coming in. So it's a larger camp. And you're going to get the same view, but kids sometimes like that mega camp. You can get lost in it, but it's a great opportunity also to be seen by many schools. The great thing about our camps, regardless which one you come to, is that we send that information, their combine information and a ranking of their skills to every college in America. Over 900 colleges will get that information. Junior college, NAIA, Division III, Division II, Division I, they get that information. And that's been our vision for quite some time, is to help the Texas high schools and the Texas high school students get recruited. Now, on top of that, we also have what we call the Air Raid, the Caballeros Academies. And that's going in around town that we're working with several of the schools with. Matter of fact, Coach Tracy Welch is the one who heads that up. He's our offensive line coach and director of football administration. And that is working with kids from the ages of 9 through 13. And they work with our players. Our players are assigned like student trainers or physical trainers for these guys, helping them with strength, conditioning, drills, skills. And that's the age group. A lot of times people no, I shouldn't say mislook, but that's not a good word, but they overlook that younger group of kids. And those are the kids, that's the formative years. So Hal Mumme has had a great vision in starting programs and building programs throughout his career, and to have that vision to get down and work with these 9 through 13-year-olds is great. And then, of course, putting our older camps on, we try to hit the full gamut to help our coaches and our players in this area. Quincy Workman has done a great job and will do a great job also of working with our nonprofits around San Antonio. Ron, we're excited, of course, to be in San Antonio, but a lot of these leagues, they come and they go. And a lot of times they come and they go because they don't put roots down in the ground. We want to come work San Antonio. We want to be San Antonio's professional football team and be known as that. And we don't, I love all the UFL guys, but, they're housed out of Arlington and they travel down only for game day. We're going to be here throughout the week, throughout the summer, throughout the winter, throughout the spring. We're here. We're here and work in San Antonio to let these people know we want to not only be a part of them, we want to serve them with all these things that we've been talking about.
Let me ask you something. You said that this is like people could come back and they could get in the NFL. So my question is, you have a good team. You take first place that year, but you're going to lose 5 or 6 players that's going to the NFL. How is that going to keep the league viable and going if you lose, let's say, 5 or 20 people throughout the league on the NFL? How are you able to come back from that and bring in other players to retain, the leadership role that you're doing?
That's a great question, Ron. And I think the best way we can answer that question is by saying this. The Round Rock Express baseball team, they compete every year for the championship. They have a great team. They continually lose players to who? The Texas Rangers. They get called up. They're a minor league baseball team. And then when the Rangers, somebody gets hurt, they have to rehab or whatever, where do they go? Back to the Round Rock Express baseball team. We're a minor league football team. That's what we are. And so I hope that we lose more than 5. I hope that half of our football team gets pulled to the NFL, because here's the thing. If our players are going to the NFL, we become a machine. We become an operating machine. And where is everybody going to want to come play? They want to come play with San Antonio because they know that we have a machine going to the NFL. And so we're going to get the best recruits. I was a high school head coach for 24 years at Coppers Cove High School here in Central Texas. Matter of fact, I played against Alamo Heights for the state championship several years ago. And we had a lot of great players. I had RG3 was my quarterback. Vontez Duff, running back, went to Notre Dame. I mean, I can just make a list of them. In that little time that we were there at Copper's Cove, I had 16 players go to the NFL that played professional football. Every year we reloaded because other players kept coming in. You're going to attract great players when you're helping players move on and go to the top. So never be worried about losing a great player. I'll be real frank with you, with Jalen Moody. We might lose him after 3 or 4 weeks into the season, but I'll guarantee you we'll replace him with some other great players that'll be coming there that need an opportunity too. So that's part of it, but you got to understand who we are and what we're all about. I think we'll always be a championship unit because we understand who we are and what we're all about. We are about trying to help our players get to the NFL. At the same time, we're going to be the best football team in the International Football Alliance because we've attracted the best talent. And if, as long as we keep that going, our fans are going to love it because they get to see names and then all of a sudden they're seeing them somewhere else. The other thing is we have a TV market that's out of sight. This league has been working, like I said, for 2 years. We're going to be in over 100 million homes in America. And not only that, because we're an international football league and we're playing a Mexico team, we'll have our games televised in Mexico as well. So we're going to have our teams all around the world being televised, and people will see us. So hopefully we'll have a lot of players become household names. By doing our Christian fellowship, by doing our Caballero Academy, and by doing our football camps, these folks are going to know, and these players, these students around San Antonio are going to get to know our players because our players are going to be helping work all this. They're going to be the ones helping us go into schools. I've got several guys that want to be involved in the ministry. A lot of our football players want to be involved in the football camps, coaching and teaching. Same thing with the Caballero Academy. So I think when that question that you came to me, how are we going to continue to be good? It's going to be because we're an attraction. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. So let me ask you something else. So who's going to be your affiliate NFL team? Is it everybody, or is it just to be the Cowboys and the Texans?
Well, we're actually working on that, and we're visiting. Coach Mummy and myself are working of trying to meet with the NFL and get some things worked out. Right now, there's no affiliations, there's no attachments, but hopefully that can be made with all of our units. See, here's another great thing about the International Football Alliance. The UFL finishes playing in May. They'll start in February. Well, they've played their season. Matter of fact, one of the top quarterbacks in the UFL played where I was coaching at East Texas A&M University. Perez is probably the top quarterback in the league. He plays with the Arlington team and does a great job. Fantastic quarterback. He got picked up by the San Diego Chargers. Didn't make it. He played through the season, finished the season with them, but he's back in the UFL. So right there on the verge of making it. But those guys have finished. And see, when they finish a season, just think about this. Usually you're tired at the end of the season. And so the NFL starts their season, starts their camps in May when we start. So we're both starting fresh. Well, the NFL has put their team together throughout the winter, throughout the spring. So they're getting ready for camp. They're not adding people right then. So when are they going to add the players? As the summer progresses, then they'll get a few guys hurt in camp or whatever. They'll see that maybe they overlooked one guy. They don't like this or that. They want to get another tight end, offensive lineman, or whatever it is. And we are playing fresh at the same time. So we're kind of like a farm club to them. So they can, and we're all on TV. So we got a lot of TV coverage. They're going to be seeing us against great competition, big time competition with big time coaches coaching these guys. And so now they can look down there and they can say, hey, we need a linebacker. Let's look at this thing, and they can pull them up right now. So that's the opportunity that I think us working with the NFL like that is going to be a big thing. You hate to lose a player, like you said. We want to win. We have that in our blood. We want to win, but we also want to win doing the right thing. And the right thing is to help these young people try to get to the top of the pinnacle where they want to go. And we all know they want to make the NFL. We love Arena League football, but it's very hard to get to the NFL from the Arena League because it's not the same game. It's just not the same game. I love it. I love to go watch Arena League football. It's one of my funnest things. But it's kind of like being an 11-man football coach in high school. I love to go watch a 6-man game. But 6-man game is, a passing football game. It's a much smaller field. It's hard to compare how you're going to do an 11-man when you're playing 6-man. So us being an 11-man football, playing with great coaches, great players at the same time with the NFL, I think us coinciding there, I think it's going to become a brother and brother type situation. I think we're going to brother up.
Okay. So are you looking for sparks to fly with offense or grind it down with defense? What is the focus on?
I'm with the top passing coach in America, Hal Mummy. It will be sparks flying. It will be air raiding. And when they say raid, it's a raid. He's coming at you. You can't stop him. Listen, when he was at Kentucky, Kentucky was not known as a football power. We both know that. They were known as a basketball power. Those guys went to the bowl games when Hal was there. They beat LSU. They beat Alabama. How do you do that? You do that by flinging that ball around the field and then having a dynamic running game. See, that pass opens up a good running game. In the running game, of course, will open up the pass. But even though the running game will open up the pass, if you don't have top quarterbacks and receivers, it might open up, but you can't do anything with it. We're going to attract the top quarterbacks, receivers, and running backs, I think, around the country because they want to be in this type of offense. It is a spark flying, getting after it type of situation, and you're going to see some high scoring ball games, and it's going to be exciting for San Antonio. People come to that first ball game, and they're going to be excited to get back there to see what's going to happen the next week. For years I've done a bowl game. I've been in charge of a bowl game I've put on for years. It's called the Champs Texas Heart of Texas Bowl, and when Hal Mummy was coaching at McMurray University, went to McMurray, brought them up to Division II. They were in a bowl game against Southern Arkansas. It was the greatest thing I've ever seen. They were down like 30-7, and you could see them come back and boom, 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 and won that game 31-30. And that's just an example of a Division II game that he coached at. But when he was at Kentucky, it was like that all the time. It's exciting. It's going to be a fire, getting after it type of offense that's going to make all kinds of sparks.
All right. So what about the rules? Are you adopting the same rules of the NFL, or do you have some different rules?
It's exact same. Kickoff, return, the way they do it now. It's all NFL rules. So from top to bottom, we'll be playing NFL rules. That's why I'm saying this coincides with the NFL, like, Mutt and Jeff. They go together.
Yeah.
Peanut butter and jelly.
So I can't wait for it to start. I'm gonna have my butt right there in the stands the first game y'all get there, because I'm looking forward to it. So you said you got another coach there with you?
Yes, sir. His name is Tracy Welch. Tracy was we've coached together for a long time. That's my brother, and he was the AFCA Assistant Coach of the Year several years ago. He coached the offensive line at Kansas State University. He was offensive coordinator at Fort Scott Community College. He went to K-State. And then when I went to high school, I lured him to come in to be with me. So he was an associate head coach and associate athletic director. And when I went to East Texas A&M University, Tracy took the head job at Lake Worth Independent School District up in Fort Worth. And in just 5 years, if you can imagine this, turn that program completely around, is the winningest coach in their history with percentage winnage of any coach in just 5 years, and did a tremendous job. We're so excited to have him. He is really and truthfully, he's kind of the glue that kind of sticks all this together, because he's the budget guy. He understands how to make everything work. That's why we call him the football administrator. So I'm going to let him sit in this chair and talk to you. You're going to like talking to Tracy.
All right. Thank you, sir.
I'm not sure I can top that. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm pretty sure you can. After he bragged on you how you the guru and everything. Yeah, you're doing all right. So to you, what would it take?
Well, I appreciate that.
Okay, what will it take for you to gel this team together? Because a lot of people always talk about the chemistry has to be there. Because if you practice together, you work together, you learn each other's thoughts, and you know where they're going to be at. So what's it going to take to bring the group of guys together on the same page?
Well, I think a couple things. That's a good question. I think first of all, Jack was bragging a while ago what we did at Lake Worth in a short 5 years, and that's the northwest side of Fort Worth. A lot of transient type kids, students over there in apartment complexes. That's Section 8 housing. How did we do it? We did it with a great coaching staff. So when he said that I did that, the coaching staff did that. So how are we going to do it? The San Antonio Caballeros, our coaching staff. We have a tremendous coaching staff led by Hal Mummy and of course Jack and so many great names we could throw out. He talked about not being afraid of losing a football player, and we've got to have that culture going that next guy up. But I think through our culture and our beliefs and the way we work, the way we talk, I think that culture gets made. And it's just a one-man show. So I'm really excited about the coaching staff and what we're putting together.
Yeah, so the players, you pretty well got the players already. And he said you got a second draft coming up. You got tryouts coming up. What are you looking for?
Yes, sir.
In the draft and the tryouts coming out? What key are you looking for? Another quarterback, running back, defensive end?
Right now we're focused on linemen, and along with myself coaching offensive line, we have one of the best offensive line coaches in the nation, by the name of Ronnie Van Clark. And Coach Van Clark right now is working hard, looking for offensive linemen that maybe have slipped through the cracks from the XFL or trying to still make it to the NFL. I think we're pretty solid. We've got a young man there from San Antonio as our quarterback. And I think we're excited about him. But like anybody, offensive line and of course defensive line, but offensive linemen are hard to find. And I've been coaching at the FCS level the last 2 years, and everyone at the Division I level is looking for those 6'5", 6'6", 6'7" offensive tackles that can play tackle, and they're hard to find. I've got a son myself that's 6'4", 310 pounds, and he got in the portals last year, and I mean everyone's banging his door down. Offensive linemen are hard to find, so the quality offensive linemen that we've got to be able to find and get in there and work with is what we're looking for right now.
So I'm a Bears fan. I grew up in the Chicago area, and we can't seem to keep a good quarterback no matter what.
Okay.
But what I'm saying, how many seconds would you like the offensive line to give your quarterback to throw that ball downfield? Because I look at it now, they are rushed so much that it's almost hard, because some of the best quarterbacks in the NFL has plenty of time to throw the ball. Is that type of offensive line you're looking for?
Well, I think your scheme can take a lot of pressure off your offensive line, and let's look at the scheme of Kansas City and what they do with their quarterback. If you're just going to stand back there at 7 yards and try to pick everyone apart and ask your offensive lineman to max protect the whole time, that's very tough. But through the bootleg game, through the quick passing game, the three-step passing game, the quick screen game, mixed in with your deep passing game, mixed in with your sprint out game, it takes the pressure off their offensive linemen. And through the air raid offense that Hal Mumme does, he does a great job of that. His quarterback at Kentucky, Tim Couch, I mean, that was a big old boy, about 6'5", 270 pounds. So him to sit back there and do that stuff. We coached Robert Griffin III in Copper Cove, RG3. And if you go back and look at the things we did with RG3, that's everything I'm talking about right here. The three-step passing game, the five-step passing game, the zone boots, the counter boots, the sprint outs, all those type of things. So I think by mixing it up and you can keep through your schemes, you can keep the pressure off your offensive line and be able to mix it up in there as well. You mentioned Chicago Bears. Coach Welch and I, of course, we coached a young man at Copper Cove that played for the Bears for 13 years, and his name is Charles Peanut Tillman. I don't know if you ever heard of the Peanut Punch or not, but Jack helped him develop the peanut that term, the Peanut Punch. And I think Charles played for them 13 years, was NFL Man of the Year, and all kinds of recognition awards. So very, very familiar with Chicago and their offensive line, their people. Now, a young man that coached for us in Copper Cove is the offensive line coach there now. His name is Chris Morgan. And so, talking about offensive line and things you can do, I've talked to Chris several times after he went to Chicago, and again, being able to mix up your game offensively can help your offensive lineman.
Yeah. Oh wow, we just got Vic who joined us.
All right.
Good afternoon, sir.
How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. And so, what spot is Vic at on this team?
I am the running backs coach.
I'll let Vic answer that.
Yeah, he just did it. Running back coach. So, who do you have that's standing out right now as a running back so far?
I just came on board, so I'm not sure of the whole roster yet.
See, that's what I like about this.
I know one of them, Coach Stagliano. One of them is an incarnate word young man. His name is Marcus Cooper, and a lot of people there in the San Antonio area is very, very excited about getting to watch Marcus Cooper continue his playing career with us. I think he's been in the NFL and CFL, so very excited about him. I didn't mean to cut you off for a coach, but I knew that Mark Cooper is one of ours.
Yes, I saw a tape on him. He is fantastic.
So with this new league coming together, and I'm glad to say it took 2 years to put it together because y'all was looking at the other leagues on mistakes were made and everything's together right here. Bringing this team together and starting this year, it's excitement for me and for San Antonio. And it's just one of the things that we've been waiting for. We've been waiting for something like this for so many years. I mean, we have our Spurs, and they're a great organization that helps out the community. And then you got Dallas and Texas. These people are fighting over who they're going to cheer for all the time. And I'm in the middle. I'm from Chicago. Y'all can fight it out. But now we have a team here in San Antonio that we could focus on and get behind. So what are y'all looking for? The people in San Antonio, the fans and everybody, what can they do to step up to make sure that you're going to be number one in this city?
Well, I appreciate what Coach Welch was saying a while ago about we're trying to be the team of San Antonio. We're there. The last 3 weeks, we've went to numerous high schools and junior highs around the city, putting these camps in, putting these academies in. We've met several times with the marketing teams, so we're going to start hitting the marketing aspect of it here in the next week or two, and get those things going through advertising, radio, people like yourself, TV, those type things. So what we're trying to do, Ron, is be that team of San Antonio that San Antonio is so hungry to have. A lot of excitement. Every school we go to, everywhere we go and introduce ourselves as the San Antonio Caballeros, people are excited to have that team there because we are the team of San Antonio. We're there. We're going to be involved in the community, and just a lot of excitement going on, especially with our players. Coach Welch, Jack mentioned a while ago, some of these youngsters are wanting to work and help us with the ministry that we got going around there. They want to help us with the football camps that we have going on in those high schools. They want to help us with the academy that we're working with the 9 through 13-year-olds. So just so much excitement we've got going on that we think is going to help the town and help us.
Yeah, I think that's great on what you're doing for San Antonio. And I love that when he said he's going to work with the nonprofits. And that's a good one because I have one myself, and we're always hitting the ground working for the community. And I like doing things for the community because that's what it's all about. That's how you're gonna bring people together. And the approach that y'all doing with the community is one of the better approaches you can have because basically once you win the community over, there's no stopping you. You just keep on moving forward and keep on doing what you're doing.
Exactly. And then, of course, we got coaches like Vic and Ronnie Van Clark, guys like that. We've got just a host of big name guys that, and they don't act like big name guys. I mean, they're just as nice, polite as they can be, and they're down home. People can meet them, talk to them, visit with them. We're going to do clinics around town. But I'm going to tell you this: having Hal Mummy as our head coach puts the cherry on top of the cake, so to say, because this guy he will light up the sky with his offense. Everybody knows that, and he's so down to earth in meeting people. So we're going to work with the media, work with all the high schools, work with the colleges in the area, and we want to become the team. We will become the team of San Antonio. Here's the key, Ron. With all these teams, they come in and they try to act big time, and usually they don't last more than a year or two, and that also is not a good thing as far as how it makes you look. We have laid the groundwork. Like I said, they've been putting this thing together for 2.5 years, so we're just now starting play, and we know who we are and what we're doing, and we've got the foundation laid. So with that foundation laid and putting in these camps, putting in the academies, working with our community, putting in a Christian ministry, people know we're here to stay.
Yeah, and that is great. Well, whenever you have something out like need to get out, please feel free to send that to me and I can make sure I put it out at least on my part right here and share with other media and to make sure we get the word out because the most important thing is getting the word out. A lot of people will sit back on Monday morning and realize they missed something on the weekend. They want to know why. And that's one of the reasons why my
Yeah,
station is here to let them know what's going on so they don't have to ask that question why.
right. And another thing that we've got that I think is exciting is we've got local great college players playing for us, like the running back that Coach mentioned a while ago, and Vic saw on film how dynamic he is. We've also got one of your great linemen from Incarnate Word, Blaine Hoover. Blaine, 6'6", 300-pounder out of Incarnate Word. That he was in the NFL. He was in the indoor league, trying to get back to the NFL, and he's there with us. So we've got local players from Texas State, UIW, UTSA. Be out there. One of our UTSA players is a defensive lineman, Robert Fuentes, 6'4", 240-pound defensive end that can flat get after it, motor scoot. So there's going to be a lot of local players that people remember, and that's going to be exciting to our fans. We're going to develop a strong fan following, I think, from the very start. How do you get fans to come to those football games? It's excitement. What you said a while ago. You see an offense that's, and don't misunderstand me. And Vic is into this too, being a running back coach. I've been a running back coach myself. We like to run and pound that thing and get it. But when you put that together with an exciting offense of flying down the field, now you've got excitement. Now you got fireworks. And those running backs love it because now they can catch the ball out of the backfield. They get to run inside. And then you're also throwing bombs going down the field and getting big scores. Everything starts popping. That's when it really starts to click, and your fans will like that too, and they'll want to come back and watch you next week.
That's right, because they want to see you out there running. I mean, I seen one score, not too while ago. I think Philadelphia scored 56 points. You talking about, and that was a playoff game, if
Yeah.
I'm right. They, no matter what they did, they were scoring almost every time they got the ball. And that, like you said, that brings excitement. That means Monday morning at the water cooler, you talking about what went on. Hey, we could do the same thing here in San Antonio.
That's right.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Vic. What you gonna say?
No, I just said that's right. That's the plan.
Okay. Well, I am honored to breaking the news here in San Antonio that a new football league is coming and a team is coming here. I do appreciate y'all thinking about my radio station to break the news, and I really do appreciate it. And I'm gonna be there for y'all from start to finish. Well, it won't be no finish. You're gonna be here.
Very
As
good.
my mom always say,
Yeah.
nothing is never done. It's a work in progress all the time.
Yes, sir. Yes.
And Ron, I've got a message for you.
Okay.
I've got a message for you. I told a friend that I was coming on your radio station, and you guys play some great classic music. And he said, make sure you tell Ron hi for me. He said, I've met him. I believe he met you, but he's one of my best friends, and he was the lead singer for the band Grand Funk Railroad. I play drums, so I got to play drums for him a while back. His name's Mark Farner. And Mark has been down in San Antonio several times. I watched him several years ago with Ringo Starr All-Star Band down there. And of course, I've seen Grand Funk down there and when they did their reunion tour. But he said, make sure you tell Ron that I plan on coming back to San Antonio, and he better be there for our concert.
Oh, I will be there. Tell him to give me backstage passes. I'll be there. All right. We appreciate y'all taking the time out, and we will talk to you later on because we definitely want to interview some of the players and
Yes.
everything for them to be. I want it to be a household name, what this is all about, and we could do that here.
Yes, that'd be great.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Go ahead. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Ron, for this opportunity.
Thank you
Appreciate
very
it.
much, Ron. Sorry I was late, Ron. I have a different time zone. Sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. But we're gonna catch up with you later. This is not gonna be the last interview.
Okay, great. Because 1 o'clock for me is 11:30. So I apologize.
All right.
I'm about 3 hours different or 2 hours difference.
Okay. That won't be a problem. We'll catch up next time, Ron.
Okay.
We'll get it done. All right.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
All right. Y'all
All right.
take care. Talk to you later.
Take care. We'll talk soon. Bye.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to WSAN Radio. Catch us on our YouTube channel, WSAN Radio SA. Subscribe to our channel and hit that notification button.